Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to the Mindfulness Daily Practice. We are continuing our series on compassion. Today's event is about compassion for someone who's difficult for us. So, what we've been doing, and we're moving slowly outwards, right? We're starting from the place here ourselves, and we're moving outwards in our concentric circles. So from here, from compassion to self, what is easiest is compassion for a good friend, someone for whom the feeling of compassion and unconditional love comes easily for us. Then we've moved to a stranger, so somebody that we don't know, somebody who is human like us, but maybe we haven't formed an opinion of. And now we go into the person who may be challenging for us. So someone we see who is dissimilar from us, someone who might make it hard for us to practice, to keep our emotions under control. Maybe it's that person that is really triggering, that when we see that person or when we encounter that person, that we have confrontation and our emotions start to get the better of us. Even though we have a mindfulness practice, we've learned to become aware of our emotions, that this doesn't matter, that we start to get angry, we start to lose our cool even though we become aware of it. And so, what can you do during those times? I'd say most recently, as I reflect back on the time that I found myself letting my own emotions or my own emotions getting out of control. I'm not even saying letting my own emotions get out of control. This is a situation that was challenging. And I found that, at least for me, the best answer in that moment was to disengage from the situation and to go away for a while, to practice some of my techniques, to calm down a little bit, and to re-engage only after I had a little bit of chance to have some control over emotion. And we don't all have that luxury in the moment to be able to step away. But I think that can be really useful in those difficult times, is that you notice, hey, I feel anger, I feel fear, or whatever strong emotion that you're feeling, recognizing that it's there. And if you have the opportunity to disengage, sometimes that really is the best thing. To say, hey, just wait a moment. I need to go to the bathroom. Or just say, I just need a minute. Can I have a minute to compose yourself, and I think in that time as well, to notice what it is that's happening for you, to notice exactly what your thoughts are in that particular situation. So I think a lot of times you'll notice these self-righteous kind of thoughts that are coming up, a lot of justification for what it is that you're thinking and feeling. So watch out for those, because these are really typical thoughts that show up when we're feeling angry. And anger usually means that we're not going to be engaging in the situation in the most skillful way, and we'll very likely harm ourselves and others in that process. So, one thing that can happen while we're feeling very strong emotions, like I said, it's difficult for us, unless we have a very developed mindfulness practice, to simply notice the emotions, and the noticing of emotions to be enough to kind of dissolve that difficult emotional situation. So one thing that can help, especially with difficult people, is to practice kindness and compassion. And it doesn't mean you have to do anything out loud. In fact, you don't have to do anything at all. It's about this practice. So if you can, and I find that when I try to do this practice, that I have a very strong resistance to do it initially. That especially those self-righteous, those justification kind of thoughts go, no, this person doesn't deserve my kindness. I'm not even going to think kind thoughts for that person. And you might encounter this same kind of thing. But what you'll find is that when you, I maybe should shift it to I, because I don't know how you will react in this situation, but when I switch to an attitude of kindness, that my feelings of anger, my strong feelings start to subside as I realize that this person, even as difficult and as different from me as they are, as challenging as they might be, they are a human being, and they deserve kindness and love just as much as I do. So, and here's a thought that I kind of wanted to bring up today. So, let's just say, generally speaking, I'd say probably the majority of us that disagree with Vladimir Putin, right? Maybe Vladimir Putin's way of handling things isn't one that we agree with. So, do you think that if Vladimir Putin were a very happy, completely fulfilled individual, if he were happy, if he felt peaceful, if he were healthy, right? I mean, there's another thing, we don't know what his health situation is right now. If all of these were true, would he be doing the things that he's doing? And I think this is a good question to ponder, because I think this kind of goes for a lot of people. A lot of times the reason that you have challenges, or the reason behind a person's unusual behavior that you wouldn't agree with, a lot of the times is because that person's suffering. And so wishing them well is something that we can do. Maybe it's possible to ease the suffering of this challenging person. And in doing so, maybe that person is going to be easier to deal with for everybody. Okay, maybe not. Right? And I understand that you have control over one person, and that's you. You don't have control over everybody else. But inclining your heart to kindness is something that, well, it helps you. And like I said, when I do the practice, I start to feel these feelings of anger and frustration dissolve a bit as I connect with this person's difficulty. So, welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead and get into our practice. So our practice is going to be working outwards, working towards a challenging person. So we'll start with a little bit of mindfulness, a little bit of self-compassion, and then we'll move into our object of the challenging person. So get comfortable. And again, as we do compassion practice, there's no need to be super formal in the meditation posture. And so let's start out by just noticing that you are here. Your body is here wherever here is. You know that it is here because you feel the sensations in your body. You feel the seat pressing against your buttocks. You feel gravity pulling down on your body. You feel the cushion, the supporting surface, whatever you're on, pushing back. And you know you're alive because you're breathing. Can you feel the breath? So maybe earlier when I was talking about a challenging person, your mind was going to various places. So for this moment, bringing your attention, bringing your mind back to this moment, to this body, just observing as your body is sitting here or lying here, feeling the sensations of breath. And so let's begin to shift our attention towards ourselves, seeing if we can have a feeling of unconditional love towards ourselves, loving ourselves exactly as we are in this moment. Maybe you don't feel worthy or deserving of love. This does not matter. As best you can, inclining your heart to love and kindness to yourself. And maybe repeating a few phrases if it's helpful for you to bring kindness to yourself. So if you like repeating after me, may I be happy and contented. May I be happy and contented. May I be safe and protected, free from inner and outer harm. May I be safe and protected, free from inner and outer harm. May I be healthy and whole to whatever degree is possible for me. May I be healthy and whole. May I be at peace. May I have ease of well-being. May I be at peace. May I have ease of well-being. And so now coming back to breath, coming back to the present, noticing thoughts, noticing feelings that you're having right now. As we begin to shift our attention now to someone challenging. And by the way, you don't have to do this practice. So if you find that this is too challenging for you, you don't want to practice this today, just keep your attention on yourself. Keep wishing yourself well. Keep cultivating a feeling of loving kindness towards yourself. Because every piece of the loving kindness practice already exists inside of the others. So if you feel ready to move to this challenging person, letting an image of that challenging person form in your mind. And if you're having difficulty figuring out who of your challenging people to choose, usually the first person that pops into mind is the right one. So you can visualize this person. If it's too challenging, maybe just thinking about them, not necessarily having such a concrete image of them in your mind. And so first, recognizing that this person is a human being, just like I'm a human being. This person has a body and a mind and feels emotions the same way that I do. This person has had times of joy, of peace, of happiness, of contentment. This person has been loved, just like I have. And this person has had times of anger, of frustration, of difficulty, of confusion, of sadness, of hurt and pain, just like me. This person has suffered in their lives. And this person wishes to be free from suffering, just like me. And so now, I reach out my kindness, my compassion towards this person. So first, seeing if it's possible to begin to cultivate an attitude of kindness to this challenging person. Especially for this challenging person, what can be helpful is repeating these phrases. So having a feeling, inclining the heart towards kindness itself can be very challenging. So is it possible for you to bring these phrases to this challenging person? May she, he, or they be happy and contented. May she, he, they be safe and protected, free from inner and outer harm. May she, he, they be healthy and whole to whatever degree possible. May she, he, or they be at peace. May they have ease of well-being. So let's try one more time. May she, he, or they be happy and contented. May they be safe and protected, free from inner and outer harm. May they be healthy, whole, and complete to whatever degree possible. May they be at peace. May they have ease of well-being. And so now let's take a longer, deeper in-breath. And on the out-breath, releasing this person, letting their image dissolve into the background. One more deep breath in. And as we breathe out, as best we can, releasing any strong emotion that we may have. Now coming back to just paying attention to the breath, paying attention to the body, being mindful in this moment. And so let's close our practice together, focusing fully on these breaths, and then focusing fully on sounds. As you listen, pay attention fully to the 3 rings of the bell. All right, thank you. Thanks everybody for being here and joining in today's practice. How'd it go today? What was it like? Who did you choose? If you feel like sharing, like who you chose for your object of a challenging person, and what was it like? Did you find it easy to bring kindness, to connect with that person? Did you find it especially challenging today? Dirk says the problem is often that the annoying other doesn't find himself annoying or arrogant at all, and therefore doesn't think he has to adapt. Well, and that's, and I agree with Gene. We can't change the other person. That's the case. That maybe they don't know, and this is one of the things that causes us suffering, right? One of the key components of suffering is ignorance. Ignorance causes us to suffer. So what we don't know, and there's so much that you can do. And I think that this is the interesting thing about compassion, as we talked about last time, is compassion is that asking the other, or asking what can I do to be of service to the other, right? And sometimes, and I mentioned this, maybe you didn't catch it last time, is maybe it's do nothing at all. And so a lot of times the self-righteous version of me I'm like, you know what, I'm going to teach that person about their arrogance, and then not realizing that our own arrogance is coming in as we want to do that. There is only so much that we can do for another, and sometimes, after fully assessing a situation, you go, well, here's what I know what I'm going to do. This is the best. I'm going to do this. And then as we really sit back and evaluate with kindness and go, oh, in fact, the most compassionate thing for me to do right now is nothing at all. And so knowing and assessing the situation, when is it time for me to do something and take action, and when is it time for me to do nothing? So sometimes that is the best thing that we can do. So thank you, Dirk, for sharing. Rachel shares, I chose a lady I work with who has put large notices in bold red font all over the kitchen telling people to put their dirty dishes in the dishwasher, and the point is they still don't, but now we have to see these notices every time we go into the kitchen. Thanks, Rachel. And I guess, the compassionate thing is you can see how much this small thing is bothering this lady and how much she's suffering because of this and is desperately trying to change the situation and possibly not realizing, ignorantly, right? This is again, maybe a situation of ignorance, ignorantly thinking that that this is going to help things, when in fact maybe it's making people like go, you know what, now that I see these, I'm gonna put my dirty dishes everywhere. So just kind of, it's funny, we don't always think about the true consequences of our action. Maybe we feel good and we feel justified in the moment, but the actual consequences are different. And again, this is possibly that feeling of self-righteousness and just wanting to maybe that's not, maybe the reason that people are leaving their dirty dishes isn't awareness about it. Maybe it's something else. Thanks for sharing. Jean shares, my brother. Natalie says, very hard, but thanks. Thanks, Natalie. Heather says, it was easy for me today. I've been working at it for a while. I understand that I don't want to befriend the person, but at least I can offer them kindness and compassion. Thanks, Heather. Thanks so much. I think that's really a key piece to notice as well, is just because we're offering kindness and compassion doesn't mean we need to reconnect with that person or become buddies or anything like that. No need to do that. But it is just about inclining the mind. Definitely. If there's somebody that you should stay away from, please do continue to stay away from that person. There's someone like that in every office, says Rachel. I will be back for sure on Saturday morning. So I'll be doing the 1 hour of the full heartscape meditation. So going from self all the way outwards. So I'll be scheduling that shortly, and also be scheduling next week's meditations sometime coming up. So today, I'll see you guys again tomorrow, and then I'll see you on Saturday. And in the meantime, be well. Have a great day or a great evening. Let's send some well wishes to ourselves and to everyone in the world, and to each other, everyone that's here on the practice today. May I be happy and peaceful. May all of you watching, listening, wherever you are right now, I wish you all happiness and peace. And may all sentient life on this planet of ours, human, non-human, sentient life, may we all be happy and peaceful. All right, thanks everyone. Be well. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.